Hey guys, today I'd like to bring to you a kind of an alternative to carrying a tent in your van. So you would carry a tent in your van for extra space if you had guests over, if you just wanted to get out of the van for a little bit, and maybe go to another location that you can't drive to spend the night. Some of those ideas. And tents are really good. A lot of them are freestanding. Most of them are freestanding, which is really good, so you don't have to use a tree. But I like to bring you an alternative, and at the moment I don't carry a tent. I'm carrying one of these, and I'm going to set it up today for the first time to see how actually it would work in that type of scenario. This is about the size of a small tent, but I believe it's going to expand to be quite larger. This is a bug net canopy that you would need to use a ridge line off of two static positions, trees or whatnot, and we'll see how it works out. So come on, let's check it out. So as I'm looking around for some trees to set this up, you can notice I'm wearing a poncho. And this poncho in particular is pretty cool in that it converts into, you could use it as a tarp, you can string it up as a hammock. And that's what I tend to do once I get this set up. I'm going to set this up as a hammock inside of the shelter itself. So that ought to be pretty cool. All right, guys. So let's open this bad boy up. So it's packaged really nicely. Oh, and this stuff. Yep. I just hope I'm able to roll it back up so nice and get it back in the packaging. You can get this in different type of materials. I was really wanting to get the blackout material, and they were having a hard time, I think, finding it. But this is what it looks like. So I got some digital camo, I guess is what you would call that. And so roll it all the way out. Not sure what. Well, all right. So here's what you get. You get some stakes, a bunch of little hanks of cord, which is pretty cool. It looks like your ridge line perhaps could be in there. And then some stakes with some bungees for tie-outs. Very cool. So it comes with 6 of these stakes, and 2 of them have this longer shot cord on there, and then the other 4 have the short one. And I was wondering what that was. I put 4 in, and there's 2 extra, but the one with the long one, what you could do is, see, now that we have it set up, there's tabs on all corners. But if you stuck that center one here with the long one, you could literally go from this tab down to that longer shot cord and up to that one on both sides. And that would give you a lot more rigidity on like high wind and if it's heavy rain situation. It's about 6 foot, and it's still draping the ground, so that's a good height. So another cool aspect, there's no zippers or buttons or Velcro or anything on this. It's pretty just simple. And there's some tie outs on the bottom, so you can stake down the bottom if you like to make that a little bit more rigid. And to put the hammock up, you would go through right here. It's kind of like this triple layer deal, and then that's where you'd put your cord. Here we are inside. Could make this a little bit wider. There are some like other little tie outs here on the inside, and can make that just a little bit taller, and we'd have a little bit more room right there. But once you get the everything set up, I think it ought to be pretty sweet. So here's what the poncho looks like when I'm out of it. This is the inside. So these seams right here, this is where you'd run your cord through, and then you have a bunched end hammock. So let's get to it. So the way you get in through the bottom, you can imagine you could probably do some shot cord in the bottom also, but Yeah, that looks about pretty good. Yeah, another thing I'd like to mention is that on these ponchos, see, this is definitely where the hole comes in. So if you had to use a bathroom, it's ready to go. No, not really, but you can kind of straighten these up. They make the liners and all type of blankets, and these have the snaps all in them that you could act as an under quilt, over quilt, snap everything in, and you'd be ready to go. And then if it's raining, pack all your gear, put your backpack on, and put this guy over on top of you, and you're waterproof, ready to rumble. All right, guys, so this is kind of a rudimentary setup. But you see where the slings kind of go in. I ended up putting the middle ones on a little extra stake I had, just to widen it out a little bit. Starting to drizzle a little bit more, but anyhow. So yeah, I didn't spend a whole lot of time on this, but I will tell you that what's really nice is that I got so much room against my shoulders that's not pressing up against the bug net. And I've slept in hammocks, quite a few times, and the bug nets that are offered always kind of crunch up against you. So this gives you really nice breathability, a lot of space. You could also this is totally enough room to stick a full-size cot in here. So you could get off the ground and sleep in a cot and be quite comfortable. As you can see up here on the ends are enclosed, so nothing sideways can come in, which is kind of nice. And yeah, like on this end up here, it's all closed in. And yeah, if the rain kind of hit, to come through this mesh, I would imagine it would really have to be coming. So even if it were kind of a sideways rain, and it hit that, it would still kind of drip down the mesh before it literally kind of came in. And then if you had that staked down, that would be all right too. And that if it was a real windy environment. And the way these are set up, you could literally stake it inside. So, and then when you're ready to get out, you just undo a stake and you can go out that corner. But, just consideration to think, a full-size cot, which I do carry sometimes, that would be really nice in here. Comfortable. It is kind of drizzling right now, so this is kind of nice. Actually, it's kind of comfortable. Even though what I did was a super rudimentary setup. This was my first time setting it up. Just maybe an alternative, a different idea for carrying a tent. I know in Vanlife, minimalists, that we have to have things that are multifunction, and this is definitely a multifunction shelter. Get you outside of the van for a little bit, and in a different location. Maybe if you want to do a little hammock camping, something that's kind of rugged, that's not going to break down on you or have Velcro mishaps or snaps or zips or anything like that. Made out of really good material, made here in the USA. Also, I figured out what these little tie outs were for. These are so you can literally roll the bug net up and then tie it up and just have that tarp on top of you. So yeah, I'm going to break all this down, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you got any questions, leave them in the comment. Thanks, peace. We'll catch you on the flip side. Bloop.